So yeah, I thought I'd do another video because I can't help myself. It's become a bad habit, I think, arguably. Because I think I should stop. But I thought I'd talk about the male loneliness epidemic as I don't know, it's something that I've heard about recent years. Something that has probably been more of like a recent thing, no, like a recent topic when you see things on the internet or what you watch on YouTube and all that. But the reason I'm talking about this, because it's no secret, I think I've been lonely ever since being an adult, transitioning into that adult years. Like, since leaving school within like the last 15 years, it's something I've struggled with, but it's something that I thought I was very alone with. Like, I didn't really know anyone that was in my position or seemed to be in my position, whether they were suffering in silence or struggling in silence. But like, it was something I felt very alone with, and it's not until recent years, probably like the last 5 years, that I heard that about this male loneliness epidemic, that it's a thing. Like, I don't know how legit it is, but I guess if it's been spoken about and stuff on the internet and what have you, that it probably is a real thing. And I can only speak for myself that suffers from that sort of stuff, that it is, to me, very real. Someone with Asperger's, like, social skills are not supposed to be your best, even though I don't know if I'm really as bad socially as what some people seem to be who have got Asperger's. Like, I don't know, but that's probably a debate for another video. So, where you struggle with social clumsiness, and you just can't really seem to help it, but I don't really know how bad I am with that. But I think partly what can contribute to this male loneliness epidemic is that within the last decade we've had this woke sort of movement going on, well, within the 2010s, which is no secret, and it's quite obvious. We've had part of this woke shit is this Me Too movement, the rise of feminism sort of stuff. And that's not the only reason. There's probably other things, like, I don't know. I guess, like, it's quite well known that if you're a male or a straight white male, you're mocked to these sort of people. You're the lowest of the low. But I don't know if I'd say that is like the only reason. Like, I guess the rise of social media, TikTok, reality TV can contribute to that stuff I mentioned before. And probably sound like a fucking incel, but like, way like a lot of people like who do struggle like with loneliness or feel like the below average get branded labels and all that sort of shit. But I guess, like I mentioned in the past, some of those sort of people don't seem to help themselves. I could probably include myself in that potentially. And yeah, things like the dating market, where I think the dating market's absolutely fucking ruthless at the minute. Absolutely cutthroat, where it's probably as fucking ruthless and as savage as it's ever been, I reckon. Where it's all about, oh, Chad this, Tyrone this, fucking, oh, you can't be weak male this, weak male that, beta, weak male this, weak male that, giving people a fucking label for this and that, labelling them as this and labelling them as that, which is something I disagree with. I don't think like there is males that don't out themselves because of mental retardation, social clumsiness when you got things like Asperger's and what have you, but I think Asperger's is probably the most obvious one where you probably set up to be alone, I think, without the right support. And I think there's a lot of the wrong support in that. And there's different stages of that. I think there's a lot of loneliness, lonely men that probably don't deserve it, but I guess when you go into the incel sort of stuff, it's like, and some of the things they say and do and comment on is, it's like, no wonder the lonely you brought all that onto yourself, and you probably deserve it at the end of it, because when you have like incels like Elliot Rodger, for example, doing a mass Putin thinking is more important than everyone else, or there's this other guy who I came across that commented on women who have a different ethnicity, like if they're black or Chinese or Indian, that they're just lower than him and they're just animals. People like that probably deserve everything they get. They deserve to be alone and to go and do a fucking mass Putin, absolute scum. People that isolate themselves in the bedroom on Reddit and all that, rather than actually going out, meeting people. Like, I've attempted to go out and meet people at the very fucking least. Like, I joined Andy's Man Club. I joined an app called Meetup where I've attended a few things like an electronic music meetup because I do electronic music, acting classes, and I don't know what else I've done. I think I attended something else, something to do with like Asperger's and all that. But that was something I don't know if I was going to commit to because I'm a bit, don't know, two-sided with that, I guess. But so yeah, I don't think there's people that probably deserve it, and there's people that I don't think they deserve it at all. There probably are good people. Like, don't need to brag, but I consider myself as probably a good person. Where I try to be my best version of myself. I try to be kind. I try to be friendly and all that shit. But even though I do think I can be a fucking arsehole in areas, but I think a lot of people can, to be honest. But like, and then you got a few dickheads. There's a guy that I used to go to uni with where I've seen a few ex posts where he's a proper hardcore raging leftist. And he commented on something like, "Oh, I don't think there's a male loneliness epidemic. I think there's a young men becoming Nazis epidemic." Just absolute fucking peak retarded spastic shit like that. Where he's probably mentally fucking backwards, I reckon. Like, probably needs diagnosing because I don't think I think he's very obviously socially clumsy from what I've know of him anyway. But anyway, moving on. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I've commented in the past that I don't think we're exactly living in good times. Like, I think living in shit times where a lot of people are probably isolated because we're becoming less social. We value the wrong things where we don't really have old-fashioned British values, British Western values. Even though I think maybe there's a bit of light at the end of the tunnel that people are waking up to that this, with people rising up against this current government, and we take things for granted. So I like to think people are waking up to that, and maybe that's coming back where we've got a sense of community. We value our traditions and all that, which I don't think there's anything wrong with valuing our traditions. But with this woke age, it's all about traditions are out of the window. We do things new, we do things contemporary, which I think maybe in a few ways could work, but in a lot of ways probably just absolutely fails flat on its arse. It's like burning your own house down, I reckon. I put it as the same level as that. If you know what I mean. But yeah, I don't know, I might talk more on this at some point.